June 2024, 2:47 in the afternoon. Middle of a client consultation, attorney Sarah Mitchell was explaining for the third time why she hadn't finished reviewing their commercial lease agreement yet. "I apologize. I know you needed this last week. I've been buried in contract drafting for other clients. I should have it to you by Friday." The client's face said everything. Another delay. Sarah had a law practice with 35 active clients, solid reputation, strong legal mind. But she was spending 20 hours weekly drafting routine contracts and documents, leaving almost no time for the strategic legal analysis clients actually valued. 6 months later, she'd cut drafting time to 5 hours weekly. Billable hours would increase by 40%, and she'd finally have time to do the complex legal work that made her want to become a lawyer in the first place. But right now, at 2:47 in the afternoon, she was losing clients because she was drowning in document production. She'd been practicing law for 8 years. Excellent legal reasoning, meticulous attention to detail, but she was trapped doing paralegal-level document work because she couldn't afford to hire help, and clients needed contracts drafted, not just reviewed. 3 weeks later, everything would change. Part 1, the drowning point. Let me show you exactly where Sarah was before everything changed. May 2024, Sarah ran a solo employment law practice, non-compete agreements, employment contracts, severance negotiations, workplace disputes. A typical week involved 60 hours of work, broken down like this: 20 hours drafting contracts from templates, 12 hours in client consultations, 8 hours on legal research and strategy, 10 hours of court prep and negotiations, 10 hours on admin and emails, 20 hours per week drafting contracts. That's 33% of her time. The brutal reality: contract drafting was necessary but low-value work. Employment agreements took 2 to 3 hours each. Non-compete clauses took 1 to 2 hours each. Severance agreements took 2 to 4 hours each. Sarah billed these at $300 per hour, but the actual legal analysis, understanding unique situations, negotiating strategy, protecting client interests, that's where her $300 per hour expertise actually mattered. Document drafting. That was $75 per hour paralegal work that she was doing at $300 per hour rates because she had no choice. And clients were getting frustrated. June 11th, 2024, 2:47 in the afternoon. The consultation. Sarah was meeting with a potential new client, a tech startup needing employment agreements for 12 new hires. The client said, "We're hiring 12 people over the next month. We need customized employment agreements for each, different roles, different equity packages, some remote, some in-office. Can you handle this?" Sarah pulled up her calendar. She had 37 hours of contract drafting already scheduled for the next 2 weeks, plus client calls, plus a deposition, plus ongoing negotiations. To draft 12 customized employment agreements would take 24 to 36 hours minimum. She couldn't fit it in without working 80-plus-hour weeks. Sarah said, "I can absolutely help, but my timeline would be 4 to 5 weeks to deliver all 12. If you need them faster, I can refer you to 𝐁𝐞𝐥𝐲𝐬𝐚. The client cut her off. "We need them in 2 weeks. We're making offers Monday." Silence. Sarah knew what was coming. "Thanks anyway. We'll find someone else." After the client left, Sarah sat at her desk and stared at her calendar. I just lost a $15,000 project because I'm too busy drafting contracts to draft more contracts." That evening, Sarah texted her law school friend, "How are you managing contract volume?" "I'm drowning," her friend replied. "Honestly, I started using AI for first drafts. Cuts my drafting time 70%. I review and customize, but AI handles the mechanical assembly." Sarah stared at that message. Her immediate thought, that's how you get disbarred. Part 2, the terrifying liability. June 12th, 2024, 9:15 at night. Sarah couldn't stop thinking about her friend's text. AI for legal contracts? That's insane. That's malpractice waiting to happen. But she Googled anyway. AI contract drafting for lawyers, ethics. She found articles, bar association opinions, legal tech forums. The concerns were real. AI hallucinations could insert incorrect legal standards. Wrong jurisdiction language could invalidate contracts. Missing clauses could expose clients to liability. There's an ethical duty to provide competent representation. One bar association ethics opinion said, lawyers using AI tools remain fully responsible for the work product. AI cannot replace attorney judgment. Failure to adequately review AI-generated content may constitute malpractice. Sarah read horror stories. A lawyer submitted an AI-generated brief with fake case citations. A contract had boilerplate from the wrong state and cost the client $200,000. An employment agreement was missing key protections, and the employee sued. "This is why I can't use AI. One mistake and I lose my license." She closed her laptop. June 13th, 2024, 10:23 in the morning. Sarah was drafting an employment agreement. Hour 2 of probably 3. Copy-pasting from her template library. Adjusting clauses. Checking state law. Customizing for this specific role. Mechanical work. Important but mechanical. She thought about her friend again. Texted, "Aren't you worried about malpractice? What if AI makes a mistake?" Her friend replied, "AI makes mistakes all the time. That's why I never use AI output directly. I use it like a junior associate. Generates a rough draft. I completely review and rewrite for accuracy. Cuts my time because I'm not starting from a blank page, but I'm still doing 100% of the legal analysis, like a junior associate." Sarah had never had a junior associate, couldn't afford one. But if she had one, she'd give them instructions, let them draft a rough version, review every word, rewrite anything incorrect, and take full responsibility for the final product. That's not the same as blindly trusting AI output. Maybe. Part 3, the controlled test, June 14th, 2024, 8 us in the morning, the experiment. Sarah had an employment agreement due today. Standard role, Washington State. Non-compete clause needed. Normally, this would take 3 hours to draft from templates. What if I let AI generate a first draft, then I review it like I'd review a junior associate's work? She opened ChatGPT and wrote a detailed prompt. "Thomas, you're drafting an employment agreement for this company, Washington State. Position, senior software engineer. Salary, $165,000. Equity, 0.5% stock options. 4-year vest. Remote work, yes. Need non-compete clause enforceable under Washington State law with limited geographic scope. Reasonable time period per RCW 49.62.020. Include confidentiality, IP assignment, at-will employment, severance terms of 2 months if terminated without cause, draft complete employment agreement." She hit enter. 90 seconds later, an 8-page employment agreement appeared. Sarah opened the document and started reviewing, line by line, word by word. Page 1, standard introductory language. Page 2, compensation terms, accurate. Page 3, equity vesting schedule, correct. Page 4, non-compete clause. Sarah stopped. The AI had included a nationwide geographic restriction. In Washington State, non-competes must be limited to the area where the employee provided services or had significant business contacts. A nationwide restriction would likely be unenforceable. If she'd sent this directly to a client, that would be malpractice. Sarah rewrote the non-compete clause. The employee agrees not to engage in competitive employment within the Puget Sound metropolitan area, where employee performed services, for a period of 12 months following termination. Geographically limited, time limited, enforceable. She kept reviewing page 5, IP assignment clause, missing a key provision about work created outside business hours. Page 6, severance terms incomplete, didn't address stock option treatment. Page 7, confidentiality clause was generic but adequate. Page 8, signatures block correct. Final review time, 75 minutes versus 180 minutes. Drafting from scratch. Sarah's assessment, AI got 85% right. 15% had critical legal errors. The AI worked like a first-year associate, got the basics, missed the expertise parts. She sent the final agreement to her client, then waited, terrified, for their response. What if I missed something? What if trusting AI, even 5%, was too much? June 15th is 2024. Client response. Email from client. Sarah, this agreement looks great. Appreciate the quick turnaround. Signing today. Sarah exhaled, then immediately opened the document again to triple check everything. June 15th through 20th, 2024. Week 1 testing. Sarah tested AI-assisted drafting on 5 more contracts. Employment agreement in a different state, non-compete modification, severance agreement, contractor agreement, executive compensation agreement. Each time, AI generated the first draft in 2 to 5 minutes. She reviewed and rewrote 15 to 30% for legal accuracy, which took 45 to 90 minutes. Total time, 60 to 90 minutes versus 2 to 4 hours normally. A critical finding. AI mistakes were consistent and predictable, always missed jurisdiction-specific requirements, generic on specialized terms, weak on strategic positioning, strong on structure and standard language. Once Sarah knew what to look for, she could catch errors quickly. Part 4. The 6-month transformation. July 2024, the efficiency unlock. Sarah's drafting time dropped from 20 hours weekly to 5 hours. 15 hours freed up weekly. She didn't take on more drafting projects. She took on more strategic legal work, complex negotiations she'd previously turned away, workplace investigations at a higher billing rate, executive contract reviews requiring deep expertise, litigation prep, which was what she actually loved. July revenue was up 25% despite the same client count. Why? She was billing more hours on $400 to $500 per hour strategic work instead of $300 per hour drafting. August 2024, the senior partner test. Sarah's law school mentor, now a senior partner at a mid-sized firm, referred a client to her. Sarah delivered an employment agreement in 2 days. Normally would have taken her 5 to 6 days. The mentor called her. "Sarah, I reviewed the contract, you sent my referral. This is really solid work, detail-oriented, jurisdiction-specific. Did you have help on this?" Sarah paused. "I used AI for the first draft, then completely reviewed and rewrote it for legal accuracy." Silence. "That's smart. We've been discussing AI tools, but no one wants to be first." Sarah restructured her entire practice. New model, 55 hours weekly. 5 hours drafting with AI assistance. 50 hours of strategic legal work. Revenue around $31,000 per month average. Same hours, 40% more revenue, higher value work. But the real transformation wasn't revenue. Sarah was finally doing legal work instead of document production. Part 5, the tools and the math. Here's Sarah's AI legal toolkit. ChatGPT Plus at $20 per month for contract drafting. Clio AI features at $50 per month for automated client intake and matter management. Legal research tools she already had at no additional cost. AI-specific investment, $70 per month. Let's look at the transformation. Before AI in May, drafting time was 20 hours per week. Strategic legal work was 12 hours per week. Revenue was around $22,000 per month. She was turning away complex work. After AI in October, drafting time was 5 hours per week. Strategic legal work was 27 hours per week. Revenue was around $31,000 per month. She was taking complex referrals, 75% less drafting time, 40% more revenue, double the strategic work. But Sarah doesn't talk about revenue when asked what changed. "I became a lawyer again. For 6 years, I was a document production machine who occasionally got to do legal analysis. Now I spend 80% of my time on actual legal work, strategy, negotiations, protecting clients. AI handles the mechanical drafting. I handle the legal judgment." Part 6. What this means for you. If you're a lawyer drowning in contract drafting with no time for strategic work, here's what Sarah wants you to know. First, AI liability is manageable with proper review. Sarah was terrified of malpractice. But AI with 100% lawyer review is no different than reviewing a junior associate's work. You're still 100% responsible, but you're not starting from scratch. Second, AI errors are predictable once you learn the patterns. Sarah's review checklist catches AI mistakes consistently. Jurisdiction-specific requirements, specialized legal terms, strategic positioning. Recent law changes. Third, document drafting isn't legal work, it's document production. Sarah billed $300 per hour for paralegal level work because she had no choice. AI does document production. Lawyers do legal analysis. Fourth, strategic work pays better and matters more. Sarah makes more money working fewer hours because she's billing for legal judgment, not typing. That's where her expertise actually lives. Sarah Mitchell was apologizing to a client at 2:47 in the afternoon in June 2024. Another delayed contract, another frustrated client, drowning in 20 hours weekly of document drafting. She lost a $15,000 project because she was too busy drafting to take on more drafting, working 60 hours weekly, making around $22,000 per month. Almost no time for the strategic legal work that made her want to practice law. Then she spent 3 terrifying weeks testing if AI could draft contracts without getting her disbarred. The first AI contract had critical legal errors that would have been malpractice. But with systematic review, AI became like having a junior associate, handles mechanical drafting. She handles legal judgment. 6 months later, 5 hours weekly on drafting, 40% more revenue, finally doing legal work instead of document production. But more importantly, she's a lawyer again, not a document factory. What changed wasn't her legal expertise. It wasn't her attention to detail. What changed was she stopped spending 3/4 of her time on mechanical document assembly that AI could handle with proper review. AI drafts the mechanical structure. She provides the legal judgment. If you're a lawyer drowning in contract drafting with no time for strategic work, AI isn't going to practice law for you. It's going to handle the document production so you can finally do the legal work that actually requires your expertise. With proper review, AI is just a very fast junior associate. Next time, we continue. More professionals, more transformations. Subscribe so you don't miss it.